Welcome back everyone to another episode of Vegetarian Cooking with JJ. In this week's episode, I'm traveling to St. Lucia in my kitchen, and I'm going to be making the veganized version of a St. Lucia Lambi. This is a type of dish that is more popular at parties than it is at restaurants, and let me just show you what it looks like without spilling it. Here it is, the delicious soup we're going to be making today. So without further ado, let's head over to the kitchen and get cooking! First of all, I'm starting off by slicing up our king oyster mushrooms. Take note that not all king oyster mushrooms are the same size. And I decided to cut them in half to make them more manageable. Here I'm dicing up a little less than half of a yellow onion. Now I have 2 regular sized carrots. I'm going to peel them and slice them up. Now I'm chopping up 3 large cloves of garlic. I have 1 lime here, and I'm going to get the juice out of this entire lime. And I'm chopping up 1 red Scotch bonnet pepper. Feel free to adjust the heat as usual. And I'm slicing up 2 green onions. I have a bundle of cilantro I'm chopping up. And I'm going to get a tablespoon's worth of fresh thyme. So I'm simply pulling off the leaves. And I'm chopping up a bundle of parsley here. Here I have 1 red bell pepper, which I'm going to dice up. I'm also incorporating 1 green bell pepper, so I'm going to dice it up as well. I'm heating our stovetop to medium, getting our Dutch oven hot, adding some oil into our Dutch oven. I'm using olive oil, but you can use an oil of your choice. I'm adding our diced onions. Let them brown a bit. Now that they're browning, I'm adding in the mushrooms. Now I'm adding in the fresh thyme. I'm adding in 1 teaspoon of our Better Than Bouillon Veggie Bouillon and our lime juice. I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and our garlic. I'm adding in our carrots now as well. We're going to lower the heat so we can cook this slowly. Now I'm adding half a teaspoon of smoked paprika for my personal touch. I'm adding a half a teaspoon of ground coriander. And I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. St Lucia Lambi is actually conch, but we're using king oyster mushrooms, which is an excellent veggie choice. This dish is found at street parties, and in particular, the gros filet. St Lucia was the first country to be named after a woman, specifically St Lucy of Syracuse. This country has a vast amount of beauty, and it is the only country where you're going to find the jacote, the St. Lucia parrot. This bird was endangered in 1976, and in 1978 they started a campaign which helped get the population back up. And in 1979, they named this bird the National Bird of St. Lucia. It is a beautiful green-colored bird with a little bit of blue and a little bit of orangey red. Its beauty pairs nicely with 70% of the rainforest-covered land. There are 2 dormant volcanic mountains in St. Lucia. One is called Gros Piton and the other one Petit Piton. The Gros Piton is 2,619 feet above sea level, and from that vantage point you can take in the vast beauty of the island. I haven't been there myself, but I've seen plenty of beautiful photos online. There's a beer in St. Lucia named Piton beer, and it's named after these 2 peaks. Through the world's only drive-through volcano, there are sulfur springs where you can take a mud bath, and it's said to be therapeutic, for your skin especially. However, as for the smell, some may not be able to handle the overpowering sulfur smell. Now I'm adding in a handful of fresh parsley and our Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm adding in 2 cups of water for now. I'm adding in our green and red bell peppers. Stir it up, and I'm going to add 2 more cups of water and 1 more teaspoon of our Better Than Bouillon veggie bouillon. With this bouillon, we don't need to add salt. And I'm going to add a handful of green onions. I'm adding a fresh grinding of black pepper, and I'm adding 1 tablespoon of our hot Madras curry. This jar ran out, so I had to go find some more. And I decided to add some curry leaf as well. We're going to cook this on low for 45 minutes to an hour. So I'll just cover it and let it simmer away. Our soup is infused with the full amount of flavor now, and it's time to get it set up for the tasting. This amount will serve 2 people, 2 regular-sized servings. Now I'm going to sprinkle our soup with cilantro, green onions, and you're welcome to add more parsley. Here I have some toast with some earth balance to go along with our soup. Okay people, it's that time again. I get to try it. I'm so excited. I think that the king oyster mushrooms were a great choice, so let's taste it and find out for sure. It's a very comforting and warming soup. I'm quite satisfied with how it turned out. And I have my bread here with my earth balance. This soup has some beautiful flavors. The smoked paprika was a nice personal touch. Nicely balanced with the citrus and the warming spices. And we got a nice texture going on with those king oyster mushrooms. There you have it, folks, another delicious recipe to add to your recipe booklets. Drop me a line down below. Let me know if you tried out this recipe, or if you have St. Lucian roots. Feel free to pop me a line down below. Let me know if you made this recipe before yourself, or family members have made this recipe. I'm always interested to hear from you, and if you have any questions, drop them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, not you. I'm traveling the globe in my kitchen, keeping things interesting in my kitchen and in yours. Bon appetit.